What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Today I have an underused match, and this one is against my man XD from Twitter. But yeah, so this is a team that I threw together because I was feeling like playing some underused. I really kind of wanted to take advantage of Mega Sharpedo. Haven't used that thing in a long time, along with some stuff like Amoonguss, and I also brought back my boy SlimeShady. So let's go ahead and just hop into the battle here. I decided to lead off with Darmanitan just because I don't really know what he's going to want to lead off with, and it's going to be nice to be able to get a pivot off here. So the man himself, Young Damage, comes out as he ends up leading off with his Terrakion. That kind of shows me that he's probably going to go for a Stealth Rock considering he led off with this thing. So I'm just going to get a nice little U-turn, and I decided to go into my Amoonguss, I believe, just because it's a great matchup against this thing. I'm fully physically defensive, and I can take anything this thing wants to throw at me. So he actually ends up going for the Stone Edge, which is interesting. He ends up missing that, which is unfortunate for him, but it would have done far less than half anyway. So I'm just going to go right for a Spore here, as he's going to switch right into his Volcanion to take that, go ahead and Spore him right in the donut, and that thing is going to fall asleep. So this seems like a nice time for me to bring in my SlimeShady here. I know that I can take any attack this Volcanion wants to throw at me if it ends up waking up. I am Assault Vested as hell, and I can take literally like any special attack ever. So yeah, I'm just going to go right for a Thunderbolt here, trying to land it on the Volcanion, as he actually ends up switching into this freaking eggy motherfucker trying to get scrambled, as obviously it's not going to do anything to this thing because these are so specially defensive. And honestly, this man's rocking two Pokemon that I hate to play against, which is Rotom Wash and then freaking Blissey. So I gotta work around these damn things, and it's gonna be a journey. But I'm now gonna switch into Face Paint here as he ends up going for the Heal Bell, which is unfortunate because that is gonna wake up the Volcanion, and now I have to kind of worry about this thing just freaking Heal Belling all the time. But this is a good matchup for me. I figure he's probably going to want to end up switching out here. There's no way he's going to leave Blissey in to take an Earthquake, so he does end up switching into the Rotom Wash, as I end up just going ahead and taking this opportunity to set up my Stealth Rock, which is going to be really useful if he's going to, you know, continue to switch around quite a bit. So I don't really want to let Mamoswine take a Hydro Pump to the face. It's just going to mess up my face paint, and honestly, I worked hard on that shit. So I switch into Goodra here as he ends up going for a nice play there and predicts the switch and goes for the Volt Switch, which is going to allow him to bring in something, put him in a nice position against the Goodra. So he actually ends up bringing in this Flying Q-Tip. I know that it's going to be Mega Altaria here, and honestly this thing's kind of scary, but I decided to just go for the Draco Meteor, which was kind of a dumb play because if he stayed in and ended up Mega Evolving, it wouldn't affect him. But he's actually going to end up switching into the Terrakion, which is perfect, and this thing is going to take a Draco to the nose. So that's actually going to hurt quite a bit. Actually doesn't end up killing it. It lives it with like 20 HP, which is kind of unfortunate, but at this point I don't want Goodra to take a physical attack because that hurts, and I'm just gonna switch into my fun guy. You ready for some fun times? As this thing actually just ends up setting up some Stealth Rock of his own, and at this point I'm not worried about taking a Stone Edge. I know that I can take it really nicely, and then I can finish this thing off with a Giga Drain, and it's honestly really nice to see the Terrakion gone. That thing is a big threat, and now it's taken care of. So I also don't have to worry about the Stealth Rock being put up anymore. I can go into Starmie here, and I can Rapid Spin that away, and then I don't have to worry about it, which is nice. So now he's gonna go back into the Volcanion. I don't want to take a freaking Fire attack here. This thing is, you know, awake, and he's ready to go. So I decided to switch into Goodra here, who actually works really well with Amoonguss. Honestly, they have some pretty decent synergy, and they're pretty fun to use together. But he's gonna go for the Steam Eruption, which honestly Goodra gives zero shits about. Look at that, I ate that up. Honestly gave me health rather than hurt me. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually predict a switch into the Blissey here. It's getting a little bit repetitive. I know that he is gonna want to go into the Blissey against Goodra here, so I make a double switch of my own, and I decide to bring in Darmanitan, which is perfect because he does end up going to the Eggy, and this thing is absolutely afraid of Darmanitan. So at this point, I know that he's probably not going to want to stay in here because a Flare Blitz absolutely destroys this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and predict the switch again, and I'm going to go for the U-turn as he does bring in the Rotom Wash. So this is good for me because now I can bring in whatever I want against this thing, but honestly, my team doesn't really handle this Rotom all that well at all. So I decided to go into Rick. My boy Patrick out here, Patrick Star, is ready to, I honestly just kind of want to Rapid Spin those Stealth Rocks away. I know that he probably only has Volt Switch as his electric attack, so I am bulky, and I know that I can take that, so I'm just going to take this opportunity, go ahead and spin them rocks away, and that is really nice because now Darmanitan's going to have a much easier time switching in, as he ends up just going for the Volt Switch here. So I take that pretty damn nice, which is good to see, and he's going to end up switching into his Volcanion here, which is honestly not too bad because after the Stealth Rock damage, it's kind of looking like I might be able to finish this thing off with a Thunderbolt, although unfortunately I actually don't have any special attack investment, and as you'll see here, he ends up living it just barely. So I guess it's not really the end of the world. I am going to end up losing my Starmie here as he goes for the Bloom Doom, but it would have been nice to have my Starmie around at least, though. I will be able to pick this thing off because it's, you know, it's pretty much dead at this point. So he's going to go ahead and throw some flowers at me, which ends up being, you know, pretty honestly beautiful. I don't know how the hell this ends up hurting you, but I guess it's kind of just like a beefed up solar beam. But we're just chilling on a nice little meadow there, and down goes Starmie, which kind of sucks because Starmie would have been useful, but down goes that thing. And at this point, I'm going to bring in half my shark. So I'm just going to go right for a crunch here, which is going to be able to finish this thing off. I will get a speed boost in the process, and then I'm kind of doing damage calcs here, and as I'm looking at it against the Rotom Wash, I won't be able to take this thing out with a crunch if it's fully defensive, which I kind of expect it to be. So he does bring in the Rotom here. It's above half health, and I know that my Sharpedo is useful for later, so I'm going to predict this thing to go for a Volt Switch as I go into Mamoswine, but unfortunately he actually just goes for the Pain Split, which kind of sucks because that puts him after leftover recovery at pretty much like full health, and I'm like, damn it, I gotta figure something out for this washing machine here. So I tell him to knock it off, as that's going to put him at about half there, and it gets rid of his leftovers, which is nice. I decided to make him, kind of just force him to try to land a Hydro Pump, which he does land, and that is unfortunate, but yeah, so down goes Mamoswine, which sucks. But at this point, I'm going to bring in Amoonguss. I know that he has a whole lot of trouble with this thing, especially since his Volcanian's gone, so I'm just going to go ahead and Spore this thing, as he ends up going for the Defog, gets rid of the Stealth Rock on his side of the field, which is kind of annoying, but I go ahead and wiggle my Mushroom on this thing, and he trips out so hard that he falls asleep. So now I figure I'm probably just going to go for a Giga Drain here, trying to get some damage on this thing, as he ends up switching into the Blissey, of course, because anytime you go for a special attack, you can expect this egg asshole to come in and just absorb it like a damn sponge. Actually, no, I go for the Sludge Bomb. I don't get the poison, which doesn't really matter because I guess this thing is probably going to Heal Bell anyway. So knowing that he's going to go for the Heal Bell, I take this free turn to go ahead and switch into my Sharpedo, as he does go ahead and wiggle that bell, and that's gonna wake that thing up. So at this point, I believe I'm just going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. I figure I want to maximize my damage, and I know that it's probably going to be a 2-hit KO with whatever I go for against this Blissey, because they usually do have physical defense investment anyway. So I go ahead and Mega Evolve, get some scars on my head. Honestly, that's kind of the only difference to Mega Sharpedo. He, you know, he just gets a little bigger and gets some weird little yellow tattoos. But I go for the Liquidation, which does a decent amount of damage, but then I realize that Crunch is going to be the best option because of my ability Strong Jaw. So I go for the Crunch here. He actually missed the Toxic, which is unfortunate, but the Crunch is going to take care of the Blissey, and there is no better sight than seeing a Blissey die. That is a satisfying feeling. But yeah, so now he goes into Superior. I am not going to be faster because I didn't allow myself to get any speed boosts, which I probably should have, but I wouldn't have been able to kill it anyway. But I'm just going to go ahead and switch into SlimeShady, expecting him to go for the Leaf Storm, trying to get my Sap Sipper ability to activate, but he actually ends up going for the Glare, which honestly, I forget that those things go for Glare. I guess I'd be kind of paralyzed too if a crazy-ass Snake was just staring me down, but I go for the Draco Meteor here as I break through the paralysis, and that lands on the washing machine, and that is going to take that thing out. So luckily I didn't get paralyzed there, and that is going to take care of the freaking Rotom, and it is super nice to see that thing dead as well. So now he's going to go into the Altaria, and at this point I know that he's going to Mega Evolve and start Dragon Dancing, and I do not want to get swept by a freaking Q-Tip, so I decided to switch into my fun guy, and he is going to go ahead and, you know, just gets turned into basically just a freaking bigger Q-Tip. He gets a nice little beard and some stuff on his head there, as he is going to dance around. So I'm not really too worried about this thing. I feel like his best option is going to be just Earthquake against me, and since I'm max defense, I can take that pretty easily. So after the first Dragon Dance, he is going to go ahead and shake the ground, as I take less than half from that, thankfully, and I am able to Spore this thing. Honestly, I'm just spreading my freaking spores around this battle so damn much, and the sleep has never been more useful. But honestly, I haven't played against a Mega Altaria in so damn long. It's been like 25 fortnights, but he is obviously Dragon and Fairy, so he's weak to Sludge Bomb here, and it's going to be a nice and easy 2-hit KO, as I'm over here eating some Black Sludge, and I know that I can take an Earthquake still. So he actually does end up waking up, goes for one more EQ, and that is going to hurt quite a bit, but one more Sludge Bomb is going to take care of this thing. Plus, I have the Regenerator ability, so I can even switch out, and I can be like above half. Honestly, Amoonguss is pretty damn ridiculous if they don't have a whole lot for it. But yeah, so now his last Pokemon is going to be this Superior, and all I really have to do here is just kind of stay in. I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb, as he does show me he has the hidden power Fire or Ice. I actually end up living it with 8 HP, which is pretty damn surprising, and I go for the Sludge Bomb. It's not going to be able to take this thing out, but I do still have the Darmanitan in the back of my team who is fit to handle this Superior, which is nice. So he actually ends up going for the Leaf Storm there. he is gonna get the special attack boost from that, but it's not gonna save him because he is not choice scarfed, and I have a fast-ass fire monkey on my team. So he's losing some health to the old life orb, and now damage comes out, ready to finally finish this thing off. I'm glad that I saved my Darmanitan, because honestly this Superior could have been a pretty big threat, but that is gonna be a dead Superior there, and that is the end of the match. So that was a pretty damn interesting battle. It was really interesting trying to play around his walls, but ended up working out for me, and that was yeah, so that was fun. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button on this video if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe for some more Wi-Fi battles. I will have more up soon. Peace out.